track with all of those things already. So if nothing else from tonight, maybe you'll get a bit of confidence to know you're doing all of the right things, and if you can learn anything new, even better. So I hope that you'll be able to tell me lots of information throughout the session and impress me with what you'll already know. But I also hope that you'll learn lots of new things from tonight as well. So please raise your hand if you have any questions throughout it. We'll also leave time for questions at the end, and we'll hopefully get through all the info to give you plenty of time for training. So because we do these sessions for adults and young people, there's lots of different information in the book and on the slides that I have. Some of that I will skip on past because it's not appropriate for your age group, but most of it is, which is the good news. The slides are aimed for adults. I hope they're not going to bore you and put you to sleep. I hope it doesn't feel like school. That's the last thing I want it to feel like. So keep it interesting, keep asking me loads of questions, and we'll get through the info as much as we can. So we're going to start with a healthy eating section, or nutrition as we call it, and find out what you're doing and if you're doing all of the right things already, and then we'll go from there. The first thing I want to obviously get us thinking about is, why do we need to think about what we're eating? Why do we need to think about nutrition? Yeah?
Because you're like, if you keep on eating bad stuff, you'll get too much fat.
You can store body fat that becomes unhealthy. That's a very good answer. Any other reasons why we need to be thinking about what we're eating? What else is it good for? Your health, exactly. That's what I was looking for as well. So it's super for our health and help keep our risk of getting sick as low as possible as well. But also what we eat helps us perform well in sport. So that's why it's so key to get it right when it comes to what we're eating before, during and after a match. So we will come on to that information. But I need to know that you understand what we mean by eating healthily, and that you understand what a healthy balanced diet is. So I'm hoping you do. What we do have is a picture. We all seen the Eat Well plate, big round plate. Yeah. Do you know the amount of adult groups I go to that have never seen that plate before? Is quite scary. They would not have learnt that information at school the way we do. So you actually have a heads up and will know most of this information. So if you've twigged on already, you might have noticed that the 5 food groups that are on the screen are the 5 food groups of the Eat Well plate, which we'll show you in a wee bit. So it is important that we have a diet that has lots of starchy food. Who's good at getting those in the diet? Yeah? Pretty good, yeah? Some of you not so much? We'll have a wee talk about that. Oh, good man. Who else had pasta or another carbohydrate? Good. Who has bread, rice, pasta or some cereal straight after a match?
Oh, fries.
Straight after fries. Kind of counts. And what about hydration? Who makes sure they drink plenty of water during their game?
No. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Is it an area that you struggle with sometimes as well? Okay. So gluten juice, we're going to come on to talk about the drinks, but as long as you're having some type of fluid. You don't need one? Oh, right. We'll come on to talk about that in a wee second. Okay, hygiene of fluid bottles. Are you good at cleaning out your water bottles all the time? Yeah, or letting someone else clean them for you? The reason we want to do that is so that we don't get colds and flu. We want to keep well, we want to keep turning up every week for football, and we don't want to be not attending because we're dosed for the cold, so we want to keep making sure all the bottles are clean. Dental hygiene, if you do drink the diluting juices, there's something with sugar in it, we've got to be really careful at cleaning our teeth. This is more for adults who use the sip drinks, you know, because they are advised for adults but not for young people. They are full of sugar and they coat your teeth, so we've got to be careful with that. But if you're sticking to the water, that's even better for your dental health. And let's get organised. Let's be asking our parents for all of these snacks that we want to eat before our game, in the middle of our game and after, because if we're not asking our parents can they help us by getting all of these snacks, then sometimes we're not going to have them because you're just hoping they'll be there, and if they're not in the fridge you'll not be eating them yet.
What about pot noodle?
Pot noodle
Falls
falls into the bag. Oh, they're so processed. If you made some pasta, I'm just going to flick through these. Aimed at adults actually, so I'm just thinking the information that's up there won't be relevant. Who ever drinks an isotonic drink like the Lucozade and those drinks? Okay. Right, let me explain why they're not designed for your age group. What an isotonic drink has in it is lots of water to hydrate you. It has some carbohydrate and the sugar in there that we should be having. So it basically is like having a bottle of water and some jelly babies, because we're having the fluid and we have the source of carbohydrate and the source of sugar. But what you also get from an isotonic drink is sodium, salt. And basically an adult will sweat whenever they exercise to quite a high amount that they can replace the salt that they're losing in their sweat. But you boys are all very, very young and not losing enough sweat and enough sodium to have the need to replace it. So when you drink those drinks, the sodium levels in your blood actually go really high, and that's not very healthy for us. So that is why an isotonic sports drink is not designed for young people like yourselves. It's all down to the sodium that's in it. Nothing else that's in it will do you any harm, like the water obviously to hydrate, the carbohydrate is good, but the sodium and the salt in there is not necessary for your age group, and that's why they're not designed for you. Now, on another note about sports drinks or energy drinks, for example, like the Lucozade is designed as a sports drink. Things like BPM, things like Boost, Monster, do you regularly have those? I see a lot of people shaking their heads and saying no, and I'm very glad to hear that a lot of you don't regularly have those drinks. Within those energy drinks like Monster, BPM and Red Bull, what they do is provide your body with lots of energy through sugar, but also through caffeine. And caffeine can be very dangerous for adults and for young people. And if you didn't already know this, then you weren't, you're drinking these drinks thinking they're okay. But I hope what I'm about to tell you will make you think twice about drinking these drinks. Because caffeine, if you have it in those energy drinks and have it in quite high amounts, can cause your heart to beat faster to the point where you're feeling it beating out of your chest. And we call that palpitations. Which can be quite dangerous, and also it can start keeping you up out of your sleep because your body has all of this energy through caffeine floating around. So yes, to keep you awake at that time, but that is not a good cycle to have every day. So hopefully when you realise the danger of the caffeine, that it can make your heart beat faster and be dangerous for your heart, and it can keep you up out of your sleep, which isn't a great routine to be getting into either. Maybe you'll think twice about those drinks before you get into the habit of having them too often. Does it make sense? Do you understand why it's important maybe not to have them? And I know you probably don't like me telling you that information because they taste good and you like having them, but they really aren't good, boys. They're not ideal for you at all.
What about a Boost bar?
A Boost bar, it's going to be full of sugar that our body doesn't really need, and full of other ingredients and fat as well that's not so healthy for us. But all of these things like Boost bars and all of the chocolate bars from McDonald's, all the treats you're busting for me to tell you are okay. The bottom line is they are okay, but in small amounts, and just keeping them as treats and not every day. Does that sound sensible, does it? Does it sound possible once a week, yeah? Does it sound possible to stick to those kind of things? I think it's realistic. Realistic, yeah.
A bit shaky possession-wise, or maybe a wee bit loose with our distribution, but I thought it soon settled down. With a nice common influence in the centre of the field to create. So we'll put it up. We'll give you the opportunity to watch yourself back from last night.
Can you not turn the lights off?
Coming now.
Look at our keeper. We have a big keeper now.
Lovely, shush.
Our celebration didn't feel this week. Look, they had to do celebration. We had to do belly bounce when he fell.
Yeah, I didn't move this time. Last time I jumped and then he went flat with his feet.
I thought we scored like in the 28 minutes.
No, 11
What
minutes.
was it?
11 minutes, and I was already in the game.
It felt really late. It felt like it was 2 minutes off time. It felt very long. And then in the second half, it felt very
It's quite funny because we'd opportunities to add it. Second half, there's a period where, it's brilliant. Loves it. And I was just hoping that would come back and go and bite us, that they would get a late equaliser. We didn't deserve it because they played no football, but sometimes you need to make sure you're trying to get the second. But it's half the stuff all night, that's all they did.
People didn't count.
And this is
Well,
good.
Josh's. Timsy in the second half, didn't he tell me to go in the second mid?
Yeah, they dropped the compact to
Who was
midfield.
it told me I wasn't doing something? I
Yeah,
see you.
what you do.
And again, this is good. I mean, it's clever and we then just drive.
Oh, is this one I like smashed it on this tear fucking wall? You could have. I don't know what he was doing there. I'll be here too. Is he out there?
Something that AX do, a little exercise to their players. Right? If you want to prove how easy it is, can you scrub that up with your hands? Okay? Now,
Can I go through page 2?
it's the Sun newspaper. I better make sure I better watch what things.
Right, give me that.
Okay, so first take your shoe off
He's going to have to put it in shoes.
and your sock off. And,
Suck.
yeah.
That's a bit sick.
Hey, that's what they do with their players. This is something that honestly, this is what they do for players. You've got so much control. Your hands, simple, right? But what they do is they're going to prove it's easy with your hands. We're going to say, right, there's a bit of newspaper. Can you do it with your foot? You don't take it, it's just slip your shoe off and you can. We're going to use a second thing. So this is honestly this is an exercise they do to see how well they can control their hand and their foot. Right, so everybody else slip your shoe off. Everybody else do one.
You just pull it off. I'll do it. I did it. There's scales.
You ever try to get into the roll? Oh yeah, Adam's going well.
Sing up. Yeah.
Good.
Pull up a sock, that'll be easy.
You used your hands.
Good. Well done, Blake.
Skills. Demand skills.
I love your headlines there.
All these skills.
Right. Now the last thing I want to do before we go into the pitch, this is something that I got from Brendan Rogers. Well, not personally, but I found it online. It's quite good. Decision making and principles of the game. Right. I'm going to pass this out because I want you to put this into your coaching folders. This is quite clever. I'll go through it once we start. That you've got one in front of you rather than me talking about it up here. So take one and pass one on that way. As we said, it's the decision making and principles of the game. This is what they use as the clubs he's been at. Liverpool obviously at the minute. And it starts off, the first thing is your team in possession. Yes or no. Okay? And you go down that chart. If your team is in possession, say the yes. Has your team just gained possession? So have you just won the ball? Yes or no? Right? If we have, we need to create space with width and depth. And that's something that we're just after watching our match analysis tonight, that we've seen that a lot of time we're under pressure of long ball over the top, and we regain possession. How well did we do when we regained possession? How well did we do? What do you think?
Good.
Yeah, I thought, a lot of passages of play, I thought we were very good. A couple of times we won the ball back, and then we gifted it back to them because sometimes their distribution was poor. Was that down to the distribution of the pass, or was that down to the support in front? Okay. So I mixed the two. Sometimes the support was maybe a wee bit to go from out of possession to out of possession. The transition was maybe a little slow, and we'll work a wee bit on that tonight. And training, we're going to be doing a good bit on transition from when you lose the ball to when you win it, and so forth, right? So the main thing is when you just gain possession, you're looking to create space in width and in depth, right? The other point is you go to the other side. If we have the ball, yes or no, right? If we have the ball, which is yes, can you play direct? What does that mean?
Can you like do it away?
Yeah. So it's like a counter attack, right? If yes, penetration, shoot, dribble, cross. And if we can't play direct, we keep possession. It's famous words in Liverpool over the years, pass and move. Yeah? Okay? And it's quite a clever wee grid as you go down that. What else can you see there? Where it says can we play direct? Yes or no? Mobility, forward runs, support ahead of the ball, or support behind the ball. Right? So this is very clever from when you're in possession, right? So that's one of the things we've covered. Then going down the other side, is your team in possession? No, right? Has your team just lost possession? If yes, we all know good aspects of defending. Deny, space, recover, and get contact. There's another great video with one of the Spanish teams that I'm going to bring down, and we'll watch it next week. It's a very, very clever video, and that'll focus a lot on when you're in possession of the ball. If we haven't just lost possession, are you nearest player to the ball? Hey, you're the first defender. And if you're outnumbered, that's one of the things you have to do. Delay. If you're not outnumbered, then you pressure. And we did that well last night. Okay, and then the final point there, are you close to the first defender? Yes or no? Yeah, if you are, you support, you cover. If not, depth is balanced. It's very, very clever, yeah? So something like that, I want you to stick that up your bedroom wall. Boom. And just have a look at it. And you can see the importance both when you're in and out of possession of the ball. It's very, very clever. And that'll be really, this will play an integral part from what we've watched for our match highlights from last night, for what we're going to take into the game this Saturday, but more so what we're about to go and do in the training pitch now. Yeah? Everybody happy enough? So, really good. We've got a lot in there during that hour. Can you make sure that goes into your coaching phone? Now, just where we are. Alright, we've maybe got Blake up the top. Dean coming from top end. Only four. Look at the rest of us. All down to one corner. So we want to see if we can get our head up. Get our head up to see where the space is. We should be always checking our shoulder as well as we're dribbling. It's not that you need to get your head up like a meerkat, but just that your eyes up, you can see where you're going to the space. Yeah? And I want to see the acceleration. I want to see more skills. I want to see the acceleration. Improvise. And lose your partner. Yeah? Let's go. Good boy, Adam. That's it. He's always in the water, I think. Well, Finlay. Well, it. Go. That's it. Attack him. Get the point. Good. Boy, Curtis. Now, okay, so it's quite good because we've seen plenty of skills. All of a sudden, that last wee phase, the tempo increase, which is what we want. Yeah? Always remember, when you beat the defender, what should you be looking for after that? The drive, the acceleration. Good, good. Remember, this is the dead area. You're not allowed to come past the 6-yard line. You come back into this area, it's just like you go past the halfway line. You're giving the ball away, and you've got to switch possession. The only areas you're allowed to go into to get your breather, because we're doing this at the right tempo, is the end zones at either end of the pitch. But you're not allowed to stand there for too long. You're talking 5, 10, 15 seconds, and then bang, go again. And you've got your 5 little mini goals to dribble through. Okay? Last 2 minutes, and then we move on. Let's go. Here's the time, went up. Okay, we've got all the bibs worked out, so we've got 77, right? So before we go into the main session, what we're looking for is, this will be a possession game. I'm not going to do any neutrals tonight. I'm just going to keep it a simple 7v7, right? Let's put the ball down there, Adam. Let's have it in 1 wee minute. So how we score, it's the same pitch we're using, but the score is time. Spencer moves back, right? If I'm looking at playing the ball in the space, to say to Paul, he has to try and stop it in that scoring zone, right? Okay, so it's basically line soccer. We get a goal, our reward is we keep the ball. So then we attack the other end zone at the top end. Yeah, you can score in both. So now, Paul, the Reds are looking to combine to score in the top one. If the Blues should win it, they automatically go to the line they're facing. Okay?
Say if you score down there and you score back up there and without going to that goal, it still counts a point.
No, you've got to go the other way. Yeah,
What happens
ideally.
if like all their players are like over the
Then you can go back. If they abuse it, then yeah, they can go back. Alright? And again, same rules before, you can't be tackled in the end zone. So if I play that ball into Paul and he's red, no blue is allowed to go into the end zone. It's not to say that Paul can have a picnic in there. He has to still play it quick, but he can't be tackled in there. Yeah?
Like, see if you're past it, if the person in it can still get the point, or do they have to be in here?
Nobody's allowed to arrive in that area until the ball arrives in, because in a match you'd be
Offside.
offside. Yeah.
What if the ball
This group love asking questions.
What if the ball is
If the ball is released first, and the ball's about to go in the area, you can go in.
Like, just say it's about to go in. Right, I've got one. Yes, please!
Let's go. One up red. Blue ball, blue ball. If we're going to throw it like we had Adam there, now Adam was a good passer and he called Spencer's name, but it's a red ball now. If the Blues are all marked up there, hey, you can come off and play. We might not score here, but we can't be tackled here, and we can bring it across, and then look to switch out. Let's go. Yeah, so you're up red. Keep playing. Right, try and play around him, not through him. Hey, no. Do it right, come on. Come on, play it back in.
Yes.
Last minute. Who wants the ball? Let's go. Who's down the line? Who's in the middle? Hey, well done. Good energy, Dean. Hey, where's this triangle? Where's this diamond? Good. Nearly. Alright, Blues. What's your score? 4? 4 red. Come on, Blues. That's a great pass. Well done. Blue ball. 4-1. 3 in it. Reds are 3 up. Red ball. Oh, good Curtis. Let's go. Oh, great shots, Curtis. Yeah, excellent. Well done. 2 in it. Oh. Talking about the transition game. Some of you won't have played this game before, some have. Blues will start off in this half. Reds will go in the bottom half. Quickly. And the yellows, they're trying to win the ball. Right? Now, what you've got to do is the Blues are trying to combine to attack that goal. Okay? If you get past the yellows and you score past the reds, your reward is you keep the ball. Right? So while you keep the ball and you score, you get to keep on attacking. Right? If it breaks down and the yellows win the ball off you, the yellows automatically attack this way and you've got to defend. Okay? Because you always attack the way you're facing. Other idea then is that if you attack and you beat the yellows and you come in and you lose possession of the ball against the reds, you Blues have to stay in that half, the reds then attack against the yellows in this half. Any questions?
Can you see as soon as you hit the half, can you shoot?
Yeah, as long as everybody's over, yeah, you can. But, you know, try and work it. You know, don't just force it and just... That's it. So you're trying as soon as you get over that half, the yellows have to stop playing. Yellows stop playing. Blues get in the other half. Still going. Goal, right, quickly get the ball. Reds, you can try and stop them getting over the half. We will rotate the team that plays with 4. Go on, score. Play on, play on. Red, stop them from getting over the half. Once you get over the half, Blues, Reds have to stop. Get over the half, yep. Keep pressing. Right, come on, keep going. Right, Yellows, you're attacking the other half. Can you switch? Good. Once you get over the half, the Blues have got to stop. Right. Good. Good talking. Oh, it's a great goal. Well done. Blues, get the ball. Right. Reds, you will get an extra player in a wee minute. Right, come on, let's go. Oh, you finished. Yellows, get up. Let's go, Yellows. Blues, can you stop them from playing out? Over the half, right? Yeah, good. Well done. Yeah. Oh, once you get over the half, the Yellows up to stop. Oh, cool. Alright, let's go, Yellows. Come on, let's go, Yellows. Good. Are you happy with your shape, Yellows?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I can. Yes, Spencer. Spencer. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Oh. Yes, go me behind, go me.
Oh, what a ball.
Oh, brilliant. It's quality.